Getting ready to go.
And there's always that one guy that has like no planeswalkers, no Eldrazi, no this, no that, and the list keeps getting longer and longer and longer.
Turn 1 Thoughtseize, good way to start. And double Fire Ice, Ethereal Forager, Lorien Revealed, Brainstorm, Scalding Tarn, and Thundering Falls, everybody. What a hand.
I'm
gonna take the Brainstorm and then Scalding Tarn. You're good. Thank you.
Okay, Brainstorm is selected. I like the choice. It is discarded, and we are moving on to Sam's first turn now.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Fail Whale, as it was once called. Thundering Falls on turn 1. Opening himself up to a first turn land, getting blown up by a wasteland, but taking the Surveil, dumping Misdirection into the graveyard. All right, we got ourselves a game, everybody. This match is going to be wild. You better have all the versions of Misdirection memorized.
I hate you so much. Force pitching missions. So I go to 19.
Trigger here.
Play a 2. Play a pedal.
I'll get another Underground Sea.
Another Thoughtseize is getting fired off. Okay, okay. The new card in hand is Fury. This game is going to be wild. I'm calling it right now.
That works. Alright, this is a warrior, so.
Oh, you can't do.
Sam is not messing around with this Teamer Beans deck.
Trigger here. First creatures.
The wildest and craziest 5-mana value spells in all of Legacy are 5-mana value plus, I guess. The Whale is a 6-drop.
Better with the omniscience.
It uses the Forbidden Delve mechanic. Oh, boy. And Misdirection is a pitch spell. They don't know what they're doing when they're designing these cards. Broken, broken, broken. I'm so upset. Teamer Beanstalk drops the Beanstalk. And it gets dazed. All right, all right. It's a battle. Sounds like people are laughing in the background. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I think he's sacked.
I really do hope Iris is in here.
You just sack one of these. Yep.
On top and take my turn.
Yeah, what would be the best Misdirection target in David's deck? I mean, doesn't it work in a strange way with Thoughtseize where you could change the target, but the same person picks the card? So that's not really that great.
They did the thing. See, I made creatures.
Here is the Barrogoyf.
Get a what? Plunger.
His recipes are useless against you.
Yes.
You can change the target of a Thoughtseize, but the controller of the spell still chooses which card gets discarded. It's kind of a weird thing. Looks like a 5-power Barrogoyf. Pretty good.
Yeah, let's go to next game. Okay.
I will ice. No, in response to this, I'll ice it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'll draw a card.
Yep.
Okay, responding to Barrogoyf by just icing a land, basically cycling Fire Ice to draw a card. Hoping to counter it on the stack, it sounds like.
Go to 18 on that. Cool.
Okay, sounds like Barrogoyf has resolved. Now Sam's fetching on end step. Maybe it'll be another Surveil land. Yep, it's the Hedge Maze.
Go.
How much comes on?
6 here.
New sub goal. Remember that you can subscribe for free to our Twitch channel if you have Amazon Prime. Easy.
Good.
Murktide region, everybody. This card is crazy. Have you seen this card?
Go like
The no
this.
rod and crystal.
+4?
+3.
Oh, +6, sorry.
Man, so I can select.
Okay, +3, plus shrinking the Baraglyph, don't forget. It would be a 6/6 Murktide if it resolves. David's thinking about it.
Yeah, he's
Okay, 6/6 Murktide resolves. It sounds like David's probably going to try and remove it immediately. Just based on the tone. 3 cards in Dave's hand. Harry Houdini MTG, thank you for 2 gift subs. 159 now on the channel. Thank you, Harry. Harry is number 5 on our all-time gifter leaderboard. Pillar of our community for sure. Such a pillar, Harry Houdini's name is coming up on live streams he's not even watching.
Damn.
All right, force pitching, Baleful Strix. Fury is countered. An attempt at the Baraglyph was stopped.
Getting smashed.
I will block.
What do you think of the new?
Okay, Murktide will trade with the Baraglyph. Respecting the Lurglyph.
Yeah. And I'm like,
That's the kind of legacy I want to play. When people are respecting Lurglyphs. Who's with me?
I can't take care of it.
Treat Lurglyphs with respect. Now an attempt at a Murktide from David. It looks like it's going to be an 8/8 if it resolves.
+5, he said.
Sounds like it is resolving. Could be a problem for Sam.
Yeah, I'll take my turn.
No, not even close.
No?
No. At all?
Go to 17.
Tap to 18.
Baraglyph has to be in like my personal top 5 best. I mean best as in like I like it the most. Cards added to Legacy over the past 365 days. What are some favorites of yours, chat? Cards from the past 365 days added to Legacy that are your personal favorites. Do we have any favorites? Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Okay, we have 1 stock up, make a spawn. Yeah, sorry about that. Nethergoyf. Nethergoyf is a good one. Caustic Bronco. Wow, that's so specific.
Lost 4 life. Get me out of there. Okay, you got it. Digging.
Take 2.
Digging.
I did during my instant, but this.
All right, a ponder now for Sam, who still has that 8/8 Murktide on the other side of the table, trying to figure out how to get rid of that thing. Baraglyph is up there for me. Planner Nexus definitely up there. Keen-Eye Curator, I really like. Overlord of the Belmerk, another favorite of mine.
He's fast.
Yeah.
Jeff's gonna sit there for an hour.
I'm trying to think of a card from a color I haven't mentioned yet.
So tower.
Nadu, oh god. Harry Houdini says Soren's Ransom. That was like 3 years ago. Kaviuk says any card would start your engines. Am I right? I think that was an attempt to be a little sarcastic, but like the start your engines cards are kind of cool.
If you kill me, you're not going to kill me with that.
Char Twin, thank you for 5 gift subs. Thank you, Char Twin.
14. Impulse. Look at the top.
Thank you, thank you.
Got one card.
Sam's still cantripping, trying to find answers to Murktide Regent. Or so it seems.
One. Put the others at the bottom.
I'll cast Lightning Bolt. Or Psych
Yeah.
Light, sorry.
Okay, Island Cycling Lorien revealed. Mystic Sanctuary, okay.
Yeah, it's, and then I'll pass you.
And swing for 8, and then pass.
Okay, Murktide dropped Sam to 1. I missed what card Sam's putting on top. Right, I didn't get to hear it.
You know what's going on.
Oh, just a Ponder, okay. Ponder could help find an answer here. Down to 1 life. They didn't update the life totals. Ponder shuffles a bad sign.
6, 7. More excited, creature and strike.
Yeah. So,
All right, Murktide Regent takes game 1 for David. Up a game.
No, I think it's fine in my other game one.
I think, by the numbers it's fine. It's like, it's not
I'm
too
like, I
high.
don't, yeah.
Its win rate is not too high.
But I'm the kind of guy who likes the plain burn with 4 Leyline of the Voids in the board, and like, I enjoy the
Burn. Oh. Yeah, Sam cycled through a lot of cards there and did not find an answer. I'm not sure what answers there are in the main for a Murktide. Like, you know, when you're playing black or white mana, you have Swords of Plowshares or what? Like Murderous Cut or something? Hedge Maze Surveil to start the game.
Yeah, sure.
Damn you.
Yeah, it could be into their own Murktide or a Brazen Borrower. That's true. But against creatures like Murktide Regent, game 1, the white and black mana decks usually have better ways of directly dealing with it permanently. Post sideboard, though, we may see Pyroblasts on Sam's side, which could be huge. Tamiyo on turn 1 for David, though. This card has been an MVP of many games played on 90s MTG over the past year.
I'm the good guy with the tag.
I'm the one playing Ethereal Forager. I think I'm the good guy.
That's true.
Everyone thinks they're the good guy, right?
oh, I need to pull one out.
All right, up the Beanstalk for Sam. Getting dazed. Force pitching Lorien reveal to protect the up the Beanstalk. Forcing back pitching Hydroblast. Both players are aware of the power of the Beanstalk.
How many in hand?
One of which is an underground set.
Okay.
It resolves.
It sounds like up the Beanstalk is going to resolve. A lot of cards were thrown onto the table in a fight over this. Harry says these guys are nuts.
I would have done that 100%. In this matchup, I would have done that. Huge attacks.
That was a good one.
Nice to you.
Yep.
Yeah, quite a fight over up the Beanstalk. Respecting the power level of the standard card.
Wasteland.
Pretty good follow-up of a Wasteland and another up the Beanstalk. Okay. Sam kind of establishing a really nice engine here. David, though, still has that Tamiyo. A flipped Tamiyo, as most of you know, could be a big problem. Audrey pointing out who wanted the Mika Spawn ban. Look what you did. Audrey's a hypocrite, it turns out.
It's gonna be Mr. Gospel.
I'm obviously kidding. All right, brainstorm. It's happening. They're going to flip this damn Tameo. And then we're really going to have a battle here. Double Beanstalk against a Inquisitive Scholar. That's going to tick up every turn until it ultimates. Sam's going to have to address that.
That's a brainstorm.
All right, a brainstorm for Sam. Jeffrey says, I'm surprised none of these decks are playing Troll of Khazad-dûm. Yeah, that card is crazy. Have you seen it? 25 cards in hand versus double Beanstalk. Who wins? That's a really good question. That could be. I don't know if ultimating Tameo here is a guaranteed win the game. I just don't know. Luminor says bring back peak Legacy Miracles versus Lands with a 45-minute game one. Yeah. Yeah. Legacy used to be so good, right, everybody? Used to be so good 15 years ago. There are people playing Legacy for like 15 years who just like can't shut up about how good it was 13 years ago. Just like no joy whatsoever.
No tropical island in cast off the beach.
All right, a third up the Beanstalk. Now, like the conversation we were having about Tameo Ultimate versus Beanstalks is getting really interesting. I don't know how the rest of this game is going to play out. Where is the advantage bar right now? It might have broken. I think we broke the advantage bar.
It's
Yeah, Legacy was good when it was 1.5. Yeah, unbelievable. Thoughtseize. We might get a chance to see what Sam is working with. Sam is working with nothing. Double Wasteland. Okay. Those Wastelands are going to be pretty annoying, though. Coconut, absolutely right. Everything in MTG before this exact moment was better. Yeah, it was better like 24 hours ago.
Force the Will, pitching Brazen Borrower.
triggers.
Triggered.
Some people on Reddit are trying to start pre-Tomb Raider Legacy. Pre-Tomb Raider Legacy. It was all downhill after Tomb Raider, you know. They just pick like an arbitrary point in time, and they're like, yeah, at this point is when things went south.
Go to 10.
Clueless. 6/6 Murktide.
5, 6, 7, 2. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really Chronicles that messed everything up, you know.
Go like that.
If you like read every Magic article that ever existed, you would notice the like just repeat and recycled same complaining about the same thing since we started, since Magic started. There are too many products. It used to be better before. Pick some random moment in time. And Wizards doesn't know what they're doing. Wow. The Beanstalks, everybody.
I'm so scared of what you're going to do.
All right, David's going to be on the play for Game 3. Triple Beanstalk was too much. 6/6 Murktide plus draw 3, exactly. Yeah, we're going back to Lorwyn next year. You know what? They should just replace it with another Universes Beyond set, TBA. Yeah, they didn't design the new set the way I would have. Luminor absolutely right. They single-handedly keep Hasbro afloat. All right, enough making fun of the people we see on Reddit. Here's a turn 1 Tameo for David. Power Blast going right after Tameo. Daze to protect it. All right, Ponder now. Working on flipping that Tameo. Jeffrey says, I would prefer if this conversation had less logic and pure raw emotion. She Pop says everything got ruined back when insert set that came out right after I entered the workforce after university. Too real. Hagel, absolutely right. The actual problem is that they know exactly what they're doing. If you like only read Twitter, it's like every week there's some new scandal, but like sales just keep going up. It's just so funny.
20 minutes left in the round. 20 minutes.
20 minutes left. You heard it. Going after Carpet of Flowers right now. Force pitching force. Sidorna has arrived asking about new lighting. No, there's no new lighting anywhere. You talking about my lighting or the game lighting? Either way, nothing's changed. It's a low budget show, Sidorna. Like, there's nothing new happening.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine. Okay, there's something.
Going after Tameo again with another Power Blast. This time it resolves. Tameo heads to the trash. David has a clue. Carpet of Flowers was countered. Carpet of Flowers is a little bit of a mirror breaker. Brainstorm now for David. Sidorna says it looked more crisp. Yeah, depending on the stream, I do use some different equipment. So you might notice some difference. But I have to rebuild my setup every stream. It's actually really annoying. Yeah, the YouTube commenters are going to complain about all this complaining. Okay, there it is, folks. Up the Beanstalk. We're going to see a response from David. Spell Pierce. Okay. Do Legacy players even know that Spell Pierce was an Aether Drift? Like, they have no idea, right? That happened? I don't think they have any idea what's going on.
I'm gonna shuffle my library.
Ponder shuffle for Sam. Hammy Bone keeping track of everything says David has only played blue cards, and Sam only played green and red before the Ponder. That's actually pretty cool. Anarchy Inducer, thank you for the resub. 58 months for Anarchy Inducer. That's a long time. We're getting old, Anarchy Inducer. What's up, Greg? Oh boy, here's the big one. Murktide Regent, folks. 8-8 Murktide. The only way to beat a Murktide is to have your own Murktide. Oh, no, wait. That's Bowmaster, right? That's a Bowmaster? Carpet of Flowers comes in. It resolves. Could be a way to make 2 extra mana. Or more. In coming turns. But an 8-8 Murktide to beat.
+2.
Yep.
Okay, a 5/5 Murktide for Sam. Obviously smaller than the 8/8 on the other side. Curious what the plan is here for Sam. I see Pyroblast stayed in the graveyard. That could mean there's a Mystic Sanctuary to put it on top of the deck. Exactly, a sneaky Pyroblast left in the graveyard. Worth noting, though, Sam would have to make 2 more land drops before that can happen. There are only 2 islands in play right now.
Well, I did the like.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay, Tamiyo, then a Flood Strand, pass the turn. One card left in David's hand. It's possible. That happened so fast, but the Flood Strand probably should have been played before Tamiyo in case there was a daze. Small detail, but I think that's what happened. Side note thinks there could be a second Murktide in Sam's hand. What is Esper's win con? So we saw Barrowglyph earlier. Murktide Regent, of course. There's probably Bowmasters in there.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Basically, validate a lot out of the shells.
Oh yeah, and Kaido. It's very mid-rangey, this Esper deck.
So all the other colors, like blue, black, Demir, Esper, they all look cool. Because why would I ever play those colors when I never play?
Okay, passing the turn, 5/5 Murktide. Stay back on defense. What does that tell us? Try and block Tamiyo and kill it. Potentially. Swords on the Murktide now. The 5 life is relevant, I think.
That's your last card.
Oh no, it's just it would have been relevant if it was 1 more life, but ooh, okay, this town ain't big enough in response, bouncing both Murktides. That's gonna resolve. Okay, so no life gained for Sam, but got rid of David's Murktide for the moment.
Maybe in a different turn.
Two cards now? Two.
This town ain't big enough. Tamiyo attacks, makes a clue. Now a brainstorm for David. So this Tamiyo is going to become a planeswalker, and as we were talking about earlier, that could be a big problem for Sam. Sam doesn't have the 3 Beanstalks this time. And another Tamiyo. Quite a situation.
I'll make 2 green. Trigger on the stack.
Okay, up the Beanstalk is going to resolve on Sam's side. Trigger on the stack, fetching here. Maybe going to surveil. No, okay, going for a Volk. Oh, there's 1 up the Beanstalk.
Murktide. These for trigger.
Okay, triggering the beans. Looks like it's going to be a 4/4 Murktide. Big enough to deal some damage to Tamio.
I don't think so, no. Yeah.
Okay, players confirming that Sam did not play a land this turn. The YouTube commenters will be rewinding and checking everything. Hedge Maze, Surveil. Dumps a fetch into the graveyard. Pass the turn. 4/4 Murktide on Sam's side. That die is a little hard to read. One Beanstalk. A minus of Tamio to get back swords. Sitting here in my room by myself talking to the microphone, I forgot about the fact that Tamio could retrieve that swords. Good play here from David. Fires it off. Removes the Murktide. It is gone. Attack with Tamio. And now 3 clues. Yeah, there's a chance Sam forgot about the Tamio minus as well. Tight plays in this game, though.
Blue.
Maybe that's why Sam didn't go for a larger Murktide. Okay, exiling now the Pyroblast, and this town ain't big enough. To the Ethereal Forager. We kind of forgot about Ethereal Forager and cards in the graveyard when we were talking about the Pyroblast sitting in there with Mystic Sanctuary. So if this Forager gets to attack... Let me get the text up on the screen for Forager. Well, that is the match. Ethereal Forager basically wins the game for Sam. Well played. The fail whale, GG's. The fail whale, as it was once lovingly called when it was a legacy staple back in the Ikoria days. I think that was pre-MH2, right? Yeah, pre-MH2. Ethereal Forager, just after Ikoria dropped, was a hot card in Legacy. As Scott arrives in the chat, Scott checking in on us. All right, let's set up another poll for the chat to decide which match they will watch next. Your options will be Jeskai Control versus Is It Delver? Or Miracles versus Sultai Beans. Sultai Beanstalk. You got 1 minute. Get your votes in. Salty Moles has arrived asking him. You are late. You're late. You already missed a whole round. These people. Our Discord server is up on your screen. Join the Discord if you're not in the Discord. Folks, 90s MTG Legacy Open July 13th in New York City. If you can make it, I'll see you there. Tickets are on sale now. Part of the NYC Invitational Series, a new circuit launching here in New York City for competitive Magic players of all formats. Standard, Pauper. They got pre-modern, legacy, vintage, I think, is on there. Did I say modern? I don't know. I don't have the whole thing memorized, but there's a lot. There's a lot of events. So check out the NYC Invitational Series if you're in the New York City area looking for some competitive Magic situations. Miracles versus Bug Beanstalk is next. Side Norna contributed 1,050 channel points. Let's do it. should do a dual commander event? I honestly don't know. There is an NYC Invitational Series Discord, which you can join. And if you are the type of person seriously wanting a dual commander event, definitely let them know in there. That's not something I have say over. There are other people working on that. Okay, diving into another round.
Okay. Pretty straightforward. I'll draw.
We're already past that part.
Looks like a mulligan to 6 for Force of Phil Bleckman. And keeping 7 is Matthew, starting us off with an Underground Sea. Basic Island for Phil. And an end step Brainstorm. Force of Phil is back. Screams Calamity. Force of Phil never went anywhere, folks.
I got my turn. Untap. This is too aggressive.
Play a tropical island. Pass two. Cycle Lorien reveal. Yep.
An island cycle of Lorien revealed on end step from Force of Phil. Phil finds a Tundra. People have been very curious what Phil is going to do now that Tarkir Dragonstorm is out. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we won't.
I'll get a Bowmasters and kill your Hierarch.
And so I'm going to try to flash in Bowmasters.
Still 2.
Orcish Bowmaster on Phil's end step.
Pass turn to you.
I'll draw. Yep.
Okay.
Sounded like there were 5 cards in Matthew's hand. Bowmaster's going to resolve. Ping Force of Phil. Amass an Orc army, and now untapping is Matthew. Scott just gifted 5 subs, and our sub goal was reached. Thank you, Scott. Still number 1 on our all-time gifter leaderboard. Scott leading the way, leading us through the darkness. 330 on the channel. Thank you, Scott. Really appreciate the love. Scott hanging out with us as usual, holding us down. That's Storm Chaser's talent, folks. Does everybody have this card memorized yet? Okay, Calamity has it memorized. I don't think legacy players even know that classes exist. I don't think they even know that. I have no clue what's happening.
Here's to the bottom right. Yep. Cool. Cards. I think.
All right, that was the Terminus from Force of Phil. Wiped away that Bowmaster and friends. Counterbalance now for Phil. Force of Phil, special edition counterbalance.
No, it's only a
Force of
non-creature.
will. Pitching Uro.
Force pitching Uro, force pitching Predict. Fight over counterbalance.
Can't use. I'll draw.
I'm going to attempt to cast Bowmasters.
Under.
Sure. And you go up. Yep. And then it is
I'll play the Hierarch. I'll pass.
untapped.
Okay, counterbalance is in. Bowmaster is in. Bowmaster, a problematic creature for Force of Phil.
Second main. I'm going to play Astrid's Evocation.
Swing 4.
Pretty good.
7.
All right, Brain Surge on top of the deck counters Estrid's Invocation. Wow. Wow. That's one you don't see often. Prismatic Ending got rid of the Bowmaster. Orc Army still swinging away. Here's up the Beanstalk. Oh man, what's this card called again? something evidence.
Cast. Yep. Name this. Yep. What if I read what that card does? I'm not actually sure. Drop check. From the graveyard to the library, the top of the card is library for one of those. Play this.
Witness the future. Witness the future. I confused it with another card. That card, I always forget what it's called. Witness the future. It was 3 mana, so up the Beanstalk resolved. Wasteland goes after the Tundra. Another Storm Chaser's Talent, making an Otter. Life from the Loam, returning Wasteland. Force of Fill reveals a Force of Will.
So you don't know what, if you're going to get positive, negative.
That's a Life from the Loam getting cast by Matthew right now. Returns the Wasteland.
Move to combat, swing for 3.
Phil's mana base is not going to like that. Attacking for 3, Prowess on the Otter.
Yep.
Brain Surge for Force of Fill. Changing the top of the deck for Counterbalance while Matthew's tapped out, can't flash in a Bowmaster. What number is best to put on top? Who the hell knows?
Loam. Yep.
Dredging Loam. Up the Beanstalk. Undercity Sewer Ponder. Dumped into the graveyard.
The wasteland, no wasteland each time.
Cut off of white now is Phil. Life from the Loam returns Sewers and Wasteland. Predict. Revealed on top. I guess the right number to put on top was 2. Phil still gets attacked down to 6 though. Both Storm Chaser's talents are still on level 1.
I'll be on the play.
Ponder Shuffle for Phil. Wrath of the Skies would be pretty good in this situation.
Loam.
Passes it back. Dredge Loam. Ponder. Murderous Cut. Fatal Push. No lands in that batch. Merchant Scroll revealed on top. That counters Life from the Loam.
Pastor.
I have questions.
Sure. I'll answer your questions after again.
Yeah. If that resolve, I need to sack an artifact. Oh, so you use that part.
Yeah, given Phil's mana situation, Wrath of the Skies would not be a very good draw right now. But I mean, to wipe away the board, it would be good. Side Norno is absolutely right though.
No, but with like, how are these working out for like why talents? Like why like?
I like them a lot just for value.
All right, up a game is Matthew. Too many otters and orcs and everything. Moving on to game 2.
Play Polluted Delta
Matthew with a creative build, I would say.
and Dark Blast for the power.
Sure.
There you go.
Matthew very much a believer in Storm Chaser's talent. I'm playing that card a lot in Legacy over the last couple of months. Mystic Sanctuary, tap for Force of Fill to start us off. Wasteland, go right after it.
I'll draw.
Phil does the same exact thing.
Sure. I'll play on my thing. Go. Resolves?
Yeah.
Players did not reset the life counters. Phil's obviously not at 3 life. They just started 2020. Ponder to start for Phil.
Go ahead. And step attempt to brainstorm.
Go ahead.
Okay, end set Brainstorm for Matthew.
Don't play a cub.
Sure.
Cross, trample, landfall. Whenever a line you control purples on target creature you control this creature, the second time to do it is result, double number. Yeah, sure.
I'll play a wasteland, trigger it, I'll waste you, and I'll pass the turn.
Alright. Enough of this shit.
LED.
Phil is at 20. So after the fetch, up the Beanstalk for Matthew now. Draws a card. Up the Beanstalk, still so good in Legacy.
Sure. I'm going to...
Island Cycling Lorien revealed. Balonzo wondering how much Phil had to pay for such a beautifully altered deck. Phil's been collecting the altars for a really long time. I know Phil now... I don't know. It's got to be pushing close to 10 years. I don't even know. But Phil's had the altars the whole time.
Roll blue? Sure.
Alright.
And probably had them long before that, too. Death Tank has arrived.
Echo,
Wasteland,
tentacles, and cast Echo on 5.
Alright. We both.
Yep. Shuffle, graveyard, and library. 7. I have a land drop, and so I'll be floating.
Using a floating white to cast Thraben Charm here, exiling Matthew's graveyard.
And 1 black.
Pass you.
And you guys are 3/3.
Cycle Lord. Yep. 3/3.
Okay, Cycling Lorien revealed as Force of Phil now. Finding it weird that Force of Phil doesn't play Beanstalk. Yeah, Phil has prioritized enchantments like Counterbalance and spells like Predict and Brain Surge instead.
I have them.
Yes, you do.
Just a completely different build for a control deck.
No essential damage on it. It's first strike, right? No. Oh, yeah, first strike, so yeah.
The Beanstalk decks don't have the same kind of like, in other words, the Miracle deck is all right, players still getting used to these life counters. The Miracle deck is trying to use Counterbalance kind of like a net to remove, in air quotes, a whole bunch of spells with one card by manipulating the top of the deck. Terminus off the top. Another way to get multiple cards with one card. Sweeps away a Bowmaster and an Orc army.
Really sucked.
Play Bowmasters.
Another Bowmaster gets flashed in. Elvalon says they should have banned Counterbalance over Sensei's top, but maybe I'm alone with that opinion. I strongly disagree.
Alright, sorry.
An attempt to rally the monastery in response.
That is.
Can I read what that does? I noticed the new card that makes 2 1/1 monks with prowess.
Land for turn.
Okay, so that's what you'd be choosing to make.
Okay, Rally the Monastery is on the stack.
Black and blue.
Black and blue.
Go ahead.
Phil's going to make 2 1/1 monks with prowess.
Ball therapy, target you.
Yeah, name me.
Source of flashers.
Another up the Beanstalk's going to be pretty good for Matthew here.
Alright, you got Gata.
Keep it revealed.
Outline Liberator.
Yep.
Gata gets cast spells 4 or greater.
Yep.
That could be a problem. Then Outline Liberator, Green Sun Zenith, Once Upon a Time. Yeah, that all sucks.
Okay, Monk trades with the Bowmaster's Orc army friend. Storm Chaser's talent now.
Past you. I'll attempt to terminus in my draw step.
Yeah, Sensei's Divining Top with Flesh Raker would be crazy. Also with Urza's Saga, it would be in every freaking Saga deck.
And Father for Prowess to the second automatic.
I'll draw for a turn. Yeah.
I tell people sometimes, if you have not had the experience of sitting down for a match of Legacy at the LGS, and your opponent tells you, "This is my first ever Legacy tournament," and then they play turn 1 Sensei's Divining Top, you're in for a bad time.
Yep, 50.
Have you ever had your opponent activate top again because they forgot what was on top of the deck?
Delta.
Force of will.
Play.
Card is just awful.
Yep.
Start your engine.
Momentum breaker.
People casting 2.
Each opponent can't discard a card.
Yes.
And drawbacks, there are none.
Predict. Discarded.
Pass 2.
Matthew at 1 speed. No speed token for Matthew. Very interesting. Counterbalance on the stack. Bowlmaster in response.
That's good. Make monks.
Rally the Monastery. Make some monks. 1/1 monks with prowess. Getting dazed. That is the match. Matthew gets it. A lot of different kinds of permanents on the board and didn't even reach max speed yet. GG's. Phil defeated. Our Discord's up on the screen. Join the Discord if you're not in the Discord. Say hello in the hello channel. We'll see you there. We also have a coffee page and a Patreon. Go check those out. Join the 90s MTG family officially on either of those. We're going to set up another poll for the Twitch chat to decide which match we will watch next. Let's see what the Twitch chat wants. Which match next? It's up to you. Is it Delver versus Jeskai Control? Or Jeskai Control versus Blue-Black Show and Tell? Interesting. 1 minute. Get your votes in. The need for speed, exactly. Yeah, you can still play Scroll Rack instead of top. That's true. Do it. See if I care. All right, people are voting for which match we will watch next. Less than a minute for that. The 90s MTG Legacy Open, July 13th in New York City has been announced. The link to buy tickets has been published and posted and the whole thing. Check that out. Don't forget about it, everybody. It's important. Okay. Almost out of time on this poll. Close vote, by the way. Is it Delver versus Jeskai Control? Destank contributed 2,400 channel points. Let's do it. This should be good. Diving in.
Asking me about Garland. Locking in, Herman. Locked it.
Head games. That's not the head games are.
All right, on the left side of your screen, we have Audrey on Jeskai. And on the right, we have Herman on... Is it Delver? Is it Delver? We're going to find out if it's Delver. I'm actually not sure.
I'll help you out. It's been like 3 out of the last 6 weeks. Odds or evens? Evens. Yeah, I get finally.
Yeah, but you're 2-0. But you're 2-0 after losing 2 die rolls.
I have.
Now you won a die roll.
I don't even know how I won against Grace. That was crazy.
You heard that, right? Audrey says, I don't know how I won against Chris. That's me. I'm that good. All right, Tamio on turn 1 for Audrey. Getting ready to go. Well, we're off. We're going. Mechanic Island, Ponder. We're cantripping. Tamio continues to be one of the best cards in Legacy.
I insist. Sorry, I saw the ponder. I'm like, yeah, attack. Thank God one of us.
Okay, attacking, making a clue. Now a ponder for Audrey. Going to be trying to flip this Tamio. At some point.
Go.
I tell people on our live streams, keep an eye on what Audrey is playing, keep an eye on what Herman is playing. These players know how to attack a metagame. Not making a joke here. Lightning Bolt on Tamio. Tamio is KO'd. The main deck Soul Guy Lantern gets rid of Ponder.
No, they're all revised.
It was a prismatic vista that just got cracked. Found a basic island, it looks like.
You can play a scene from your hand and draw scenes into your hand so you end up with 5 scenes. You somehow already have 5 or more scenes in your hand. You won't draw any additional scenes.
Oh God, someone's coughing.
Here's ultimately taking place.
Okay, a ponder for Audrey now. Lots of pondering happening. There's going to be there's going to be a little bit of a build-up in this game. No players with ways to deal damage to the opponent yet on the table. A Tamio again for Audrey is pretty big. Audrey's staying hydrated. Very good. Stay hydrated, folks.
Go to the store.
Going to the store, says Herman. Stocking up. Force of negation, pitching Supreme Verdict. The power of stock up being respected here.
I'm the villain.
Is Supreme Verdict getting some play? A sign that Legacy is healthy, folks? I think we fixed it. We fixed Legacy. It's all fixed now. It's all better.
I'll hit.
All right, Audrey cracks a clue, makes a clue, passes the turn. Soul Guy Lantern sack to draw a card. Unholy Heat going after Tamio. Tamio defeated again. Yeah, Herman did have Delirium. Thundering Falls. Milled a fetch into the graveyard. Luminor says Legacy is fixed until I stop having fun. Investigation pending. Yeah, exactly. Now a stock up for Audrey. I think if you ask Audrey or you ask Herman, stock up should probably be in your blue deck. Did they wait? Hold on. Did they test this card? Did they test it? Check Mark Rosewater's Tumblr. See if he wrote an article about stock. I don't know if they tested it. Maybe they forgot. Another mistake. Oh boy.
Island cycle.
Sure.
Gain 3 lives up to 22. Oh, sorry, 21. Play the land.
Stop testing the limits of power level of new cards.
Blue, green, green.
I don't like it. Make them all weak.
It's crazy that yeah, I'm like, oh, I get
Mystic Sanctuary for Audrey. Stock up going back on top of the deck with Mystic Sanctuary. That's pretty filthy.
too afraid of days.
Yeah, Elvilon saying didn't expect stock up to be so good. 3 mana is pretty expensive for a legacy cantrip. That's true. And that's what makes legacy so awesome, in my opinion.
Yeah, no response.
All right, leading off with a Ponder now is Herman. Ponder shuffle. All right, playing a dragon that will die very soon, says Herman. Looks like it's going to be a 7/7. Oh, no, it's a 5/5. Sorry. It's a 5/5.
I'll waste your thunder, I suppose.
All right, going right after the Murktide. It is gone. So is the Tundra. Cracking a clue now is Audrey.
It doesn't. It wasn't cast.
Yep. Stocking up.
Yeah, I remember what Phil's point compared to guns. Not against exactly Dalton, but oh yeah. So you take 1 down 18. Second main. I think it's closer than
When my opponents are resolving spells like stock up sometimes, and like they're going back and forth looking at the cards from stock up and the cards in their hand, I started thinking to myself like, wait, which pile is your hand? Like if I lose track of that, I start getting paranoid.
Actually, it's 1/3 and it has
Okay. So 17. Yeah.
that one will not be. That one can stay in the trap.
I thought you missed one.
Oh man, I can get this shadow in the bottom.
First, that shadow one is one of the most like skill intensive.
Yeah, because you know because
Brainstorming now is Herman. Good old brainstorm. SF says, does anyone else think of the song Act Up by City Girls when Stock Up is cast? I don't know that one.
Go ahead.
Does anybody know what the heck SF is talking about?
From this turn right.
Swords on Tamio. Tamio defeated on Herman's side. All right, yeah, go check Spotify. Let us know if that one's a banger. All right, another stock up for Audrey.
Pack or E-pack? So like the
Yeah, no, the one you're talking about.
move to your upkeep and then I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
First turn. Surveil. Keep on top. Second turn.
I am the kind of person, though, that's like, Oh, Act Up by City Girls? Yeah, I don't know that one. And then I'll hear it. I'm like, oh, I know this song. That's so me. I don't know the names or the artists of like any song.
It's tempting though. You're like
Force pitching dress down. Murktide countered. Both players with Tamios face up on the table. Teferi is going to be a nasty one. And Herman scoops it up. Game 1 goes to Audrey.
Well, they're not dead, but they're fair now.
Along with all of the other combos.
I still feel they should have never seen anything.
Let's get rid of the Nadu, that's fine.
It's not even that. It's just fucking worse.
Looks like Audrey has kept 7. Herman is resolving a mulligan.
Ooh, now it's worse. Yeah, I'm keeping. I'm putting this card back. Yeah, putting that card back. Alright, all set?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna be up with the 10 land.
Darth says control is back on the menu. Yeah, control is viable now. We fixed it. Tamio getting dazed.
It's fine.
Let the net go.
Mills of Misty Rainforest that time. Brainstorm for Audrey. That brainstorm would have been a lot better if Tamio was still on the table. Luminor says control will be 50% of the meta. Yeah, now everybody's going to complain there's too much control. Watch. They're controlling everything. What happened to aggro? Bring back the Mika spawn. It's gonna start soon. Watch. Kidding aside, after a ban, we get like 3 weeks break, and then they go back to complaining about something.
It was like plow, stuck a plow.
We'll have to hear from the people that post. I think this is so funny. I mention this sometimes, but I really think it's so funny. The people that they'll post something like, I played 47 leagues this month, and let me tell you, the format sucks. We'll have to hear from those people. Yeah? How are the Storm people feeling right now? What decks is people of the chat, people of the YouTube comments, what decks are you playing 1 week after the bans? What are you playing right now? What do you have sleeved up? What do you even do on MTGO? Like rent it or something? I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Try and go to the store.
The store is open.
You're renting cars? Oh god. Eldrazi. Says one person.
$8 eggs, let's go. Hell yeah.
That's cheap. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. They're on sale. $8.
All right. Talking about egg prices. Here's stock up. Red Painter. Death and Taxes. Bant Nadu.
It's strange because I feel behind, but at the same time you have to come through. It's just like...
Do I have to play with you, or do you have to play with me? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, now a Tamio for Herman. He's getting swords right away. You can see in these players on today's stream and most of our recent streams, when they see a Tamio, they go right after it. Got to kill that thing immediately. They'll play right into days. Another Tamio is going to resolve here.
There's one. Go back to the store.
Stock up in response, swordsing Tamio. Stock up's going to resolve though. The Bowlers, thank you for the resub with Prime. 39 months. Been with us for a while. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Is that the store?
Lorien revealed. Players are stocking up and revealing Lorien and brainstorming and pondering like crazy in this match.
Draw 3 cards or choose 2 of the top 5.
I mean, I'm not complaining about
You know what? That's actually a good question Herman just asked. Which is better, draw 3 cards or pick 2 of the top 5? The mana difference on those spells, forgetting island cycling, which is obviously a big reason why Lorien revealed is good. Oof, Tamio got dazed.
I'll be on the side.
It's your turn.
Till like 3 so I modded it a little bit.
Counterbalance.
Yeah.
Counterbalance. Someone call Force of Phil.
Let's keep that in.
You have a 5 on top?
Draw? Yeah.
Well, Audrey thinks there's a 5 on top of the deck, as Lorien revealed was just drawn after it was put back on top by Mystic Sanctuary. Is Audrey gonna test the top of the deck here? Prismatic Ending on Counterbalance. Did it for 4. Counterbalance is gone. Well, X is 3. Herman agrees 4 was a good number to choose.
What?
Cards in hand? 5 cards.
Both players with plenty of cards in hand. There's been so much cantripping and stocking up and revealing Lorien in this game, as we were saying before. Herman's going to try and cantrip again. Here's a Ponder. Ponder Shuffle, not a bad sign for Audrey.
How many cards in your hand?
Soon to be 6.
Dragon's Rage Channeler for Herman. Hydro Blast on that. It's countered. Power Blast on Lorien revealed. It ends up being countered.
Yeah, triggers on the side. There they are.
Both players looking for ways to start dealing some damage to the opponent, I guess. The longer the game goes, I think it benefits Audrey most likely. Here's a Murktide Regent. That could be a way to deal some damage. Unclear to me it'll live very long.
No, because the mana's already my mana.
One right after it on the stack with a Power Blast, and it's countered. Audrey may be looking up a card.
Let's see. I'll take him.
Plus the fairy. No. Once it's on the battlefield, you can't cast anything. I mean, if you want, you can do whatever it is on the step.
Storm? Give me on the button.
Yeah.
Force of Will pitching Ponder on a stock up gets Power Blasted. Stock up is going to resolve. Pretty good for Audrey. Going to the store.
Keep drawing spells. Play that both matches. I'm like, I do brainstorm, then do battle for 6. Like, that's not good.
Except
Not ideal.
Sorry, 19, right?
Mystic Sanctuary puts stock up back on top of the deck. Stock up has been cast so many times in this match, I think.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's in. Oh, it's just.
Yeah, we do need a stock up counter. How many have been cast in this match so far?
I only have one card. That seems dumb.
Cameo and a Dragon's Rage Channeler. Cameo, probably the bigger threat. Teferi. Bounce Dragon's Rage Channeler. Tameo can't really deal any damage to Teferi. Swords on the Tameo. Tameo is gone.
3.
Sinorna says this game is a Costco. Yeah, there's been a lot of stocking up here.
It's in.
Another stock up, Serval.
Criminal.
Saw a bolt for Herman there. Yeah, stock up tribal.
Yeah.
Bolt onto Furry, Serval, response, fetch. I like letting the opponent Serval here, I guess, but the Wandering Emperor getting flashed in.
Listen, man, it's happened.
I'm sure it has.
Okay, Teferi is destroyed. The Wandering Emperor is on the battlefield. Makes a Samurai. Audrey will untap with the Wandering Emperor and a Samurai on the battlefield. Pretty good.
Long work. Yep.
Now I'll stock up for Audrey. I think Audrey just jumped way ahead in this game with the Planeswalker.
I think you can't do this. Yep. 3 swords. 3 swords, 1 crit.
Yeah.
Who's had more stock up superiority? I've casted 3, 4.
You
Casted
played a land this
3. Plus a Lorien to be
Doesn't matter. I'm gonna cast Beanstalk.
Herman keeping track of the stock ups and saying there have been 7 cast so far. Hydroblast blows up Dragon's Rage Channeler. Gonna make another Samurai, it sounds like. Attacking with the first one. Herman's in some trouble now.
Yeah.
Maddening Hex. That is interesting.
So this 6 square non-creature, right?
Non-creature.
Cards?
2.
2 cards in Herman's hand. The Maddening Hex curse is not necessarily going to win Herman this game, but it could. Ooh, all right. 4th Year Lingus. It's going to trigger Maddening Hex. We're going to roll here. Only 2 damage. 4th Year Lingus for a lot.
That's 10, 15. 15.
All right. 4th Year Lingus ends the game. Lord of the Rings, everybody. Lord of the Rings. Nobody even likes frickin' Lord of the Rings. All right. Well, there you go. Control is viable. It's too good. They screwed it up again. Wow. Which match next? Twitch chat will vote. Your options will be Teamer Beanstalk versus Bug or Sultai Beanstalk. Battle of the Beans. Or Jeskai Control versus Blue-Black Show and Tell. You have 1 minute. Get your vote in. Get your vote in. There were a lot of stock ups in that match. Cards looking good. Join our Discord if you're not in our Discord. 90s MTG Legacy Open, July 13th, here in New York City. Go find the links for that. It's been published and posted, shared a whole bunch of times already. Go get your ticket if you plan to come. Less than 30 seconds. Lots of votes coming in. I voted on this one. I get 1 vote. I can't use channel points. I don't have any. Some voting irregularities. Yeah, I would say so. Mr. J. God contributed 6,450 channel points. Rug versus Bug, says the chat. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, diving in. All right, joining us once again, Sam on the left, Matthew on the right. Teamer versus Sultai. This should be cool.
I'm tempted to.
I think both of these players were 3-0 at this point. Playing the Monday Night Legacy Finals. Mystic Sanctuary tap to start us off for Matthew. Ready to go. Both players kept 7. Misty Rainforest.
I'll go to
A lot of talk post bans about Beanstalk decks being back. These players with 2 different takes on the Beanstalk archetype facing off. Thundering Fall, Serval.
Time to break. Shuffle all those lanes.
trigger.
2, 3.
Untap and draw.
Back. You got
JSN with a great question. Do Beanstalk decks also play Stock Up? You know, I don't know if I've seen that. Have we seen that on streams so far? I don't know that we have. Okay, SF says they do. Force pitching this town ain't big enough. Forcing back. Pitching Lorien revealed. Trying to get this up the Beanstalk to resolve.
Still stack from the Caps Bowmaster.
Still in the stack. Bowmaster.
And then get the result. Bowmaster spin you again.
Beanstalk versus Bowmaster. Harry says, here we go again with a gold gifter badge. Yeah, some talk about Rakshasa's Bargain as a possibility in these Sultai decks. Could happen. Tarkir Dragonstorm was legal for this event. Tarkir's Dragonstorm is legal in Legacy right now. Although I don't know what's going on in MTGO. I just don't know. I just don't know what the dates are. Lightning Bolt takes out Bowmaster. It's defeated.
Right, Storm is still 6.
Combat?
2/2 Arc Army will continue to swing away, though.
Try.
Okay, Tarkir was out on MTGO yesterday. All right. There you go.
How many cards do you have in your hand?
3.
Caster.
Yep.
And set fetch.
Yeah.
Pass on turn.
Yeah, Surveil. The blue-black Surveil.
Okay, Undercity Sewers will be found here to surveil. Yeah, cards are now legal on pre-release day. Immediately.
Before in the graveyard.
And by the way, in our Discord server, we have a webcam legacy league. We're deep into it right now. Players around the world playing matches up against each other. We have a lot of looking for game stuff going on as well. And in our league, officially previewed cards are legal. So we have people playing with Final Fantasy cards already, testing those out. We had people playing with Tarkir weeks ago. If you're a brewer, someone looking to be ahead of the metagame, so to speak, definitely check out our league, even if you just jump in and spectate some games. People post their lists. It's pretty cool.
After just playing against
3-3 Orc Army now for Matthew. Sam's life total starting to get low.
Master Storm and Master Beanstalk.
This is a nice refresher.
I will be at 28.
Like, don't get me wrong, the game I lost the Ancient
Also,
side that's fun, but
you got Brainstorm.
so it's basically it's still there, but you know, it's
what is
not
that?
quite as taken because there is like there are at least some
6-7 flying, draw 3 cards. Okay, sure. Okay, so I am at section.
Bonk you. Plowshares. What do you want? You.
my face.
I mean, you have nothing else to bomb.
Okay, Mystic Sanctuary is found.
Just put that at the bottom.
On top, I'll take my turn.
Okay, draws the Lightning Bolt now. Probably going to go after this Bowmaster at some point. Snow-covered mountain past the turn. For those of you out there that jam limited, what's been the best limited set of the past 365 days, in your opinion? Let us know. I'm very curious. Best limited format of the past year. Going back to, let's say, Thunder Junction.
How many years are playing?
Okay, Force of Negation on that. This town ain't big enough. The Bolt took out the Bowmaster.
Yeah.
Second main. To play Murktide.
Yeah, Bloomburrow seems to be the one that I see the most when I ask people that question. There's a Murktide for Matthew. Seems like the favorite set of the past year from most of the 90s MTG people are Duskmourn and Bloomburrow. Murktide is in. 5/5 Murktide. Sam's at 4 life, so that's a bit of a problem.
Then I will pass to you.
Do we have an answer for a Murktide?
I will concede.
All right, Sam concedes. Game 1 goes to Matthew.
Best of luck.
All right, Sam will be on the play here for game 2. Players checking hands here for mulligans. Where in the world is everybody watching from right now? I see a good evening in the chat. Wasteland past the turn could be a sign of island cycling. Lorien revealed is island cycled. Volcanic Island is found.
Yeah, you good? Go for it. Cool.
I'm tapping the drop.
I think on our YouTube channel, only a third of our viewers are in the United States. Appreciate everybody watching around the world. Thank you for being here.
So, test priority to you.
On end step, I'm gonna cycle Lorne Reveal.
This Lorien revealed card is kind of crazy, right, chat? Tropical Island for Matthew.
Oh, wasteland here.
So on step. Makes perfect sense. Drop the tree. I'm gonna wasteland you.
Okay, players are Lorien revealing, wastelanding, doing a lot of similar things here in Game 2. Brainstorm in response to the waste. There's going to be a brief moment here. It looks like when both players have no permanents on the board. Thundering Falls, Surveil, dumps Obsidian Charmaw into the graveyard. Okay. All right, Mr. Rainforest crack for Sam now. I think I saw a Beanstalk in Sam's hand. Might go for it here.
I'm gonna attempt to force negation that. Pitching Brainstorm.
Force of negation, pitching Brainstorm, trying to stop and up the Beanstalk. Okay, force pitching force up the Beanstalk. It looks like will resolve. It's in. So the first Beanstalk of the game is on Sam's side. Ponder for Matthew. Last week, I posted in our Discord like a little poll just for fun of the 5 clans from Tark here for people to pick their clan. And, you know, there were a whole bunch of votes. I don't even know how many votes there were. Like, I don't know, 25. Not that many. But nobody picked Mardu. Like, Mardu was so sad. No Mardu people in our Discord.
And then
Where are all the Mardu people?
Didn't like it as much.
Delphine, 3 instants or sorceries.
And then went to breakfast and it's like sort of settled in.
Literally got 0 votes. All right, Murktide region 6/6 is on the board. People are claiming Mycospawn was a mistake. Oh my goodness. Momentum breaker.
I'm not streaming, but like making content.
I figured that YouTube is playing a lot against each other.
How many cards do you have in your hand? 4 cards.
Against stuff like that. Especially with like all the nonsense that.
All right, Murktide region is sacrificed. Diabolic Edict 2025.
I'm gonna Devin Riley. You know, he sometimes comes here for like long days, but he like Storm Chasers during like Expressive Iteration era, he was a Cephalid bro, and he like.
Now Storm Chaser's talent.
The match was really good for against initiative, and then he just like was really he teched himself to be able to beat blue red, and so that 2-deck format he was like I'm just gonna make a Potter then and pass
like, all these top 8s consistently, so he's just been very good at it. So like talking to him a bunch, I like you know I'm at the
Okay, Mix and Otter, pass the turn. Storm Chaser's talent and Momentum Breaker both on the table on Matthew's side. Some very recent cards that Maybe some legacy players are overlooking. I don't know.
Ponder, as per usual.
Oh, that's fine.
Yep.
Matthew's speed is 1.
It's too slow.
I get another deliverance, which means
I'll play in sacrifice one turn.
1 step ahead of you, Chad.
I didn't know that this thing continues. I don't know anything. It's like these convention cards. Doctor Who.
I'm going to cast Murktide Regent trigger.
Murktide Regent, trigger the beans. I'm happy to see some class cards in Legacy. I'm a fan.
Trigger on him.
You know what cards were cool too? The cases. I don't think Legacy players even know what I'm talking about. I'll just leave it there. They have no clue what cases are. Up the Beanstalk. Trigger Prowess. Force of Will, pitching Ponder, trigger the beans. Game 2 going pretty well for Sam right now. Has a 4/4 Murktide on the table.
Your speed is pretty... You're getting faster.
Still? Oh yeah, because the force. Yeah, you're correct.
Oh, shit. Did that... Wait, really?
Yep, because you lost a life during your turn.
Oh, shit.
All right, so Force of Will allowed Matthew to gain a speed, and now they caught it.
Wait. I'm not 0 speed.
Yeah, Sam has 0 speed.
When you do have a 4/4 Murktide, it's a bit scarier than speed. I'll take 4.
Okay. All right, tagging with the 4/4 Murktide. Gets through. Momentum Breaker can sack to gain life equal to your speed.
Attack with the otter.
Maximum speed is 4. Attacking with the otter, trying to get up to 3 speed, but it's getting bolted.
Second game, I'm going to attempt to up the Beanstalk.
Yeah, results.
Trigger.
All right, Matthew gets an up the Beanstalk. It's not too bad.
Pass you.
Whisper's asking where we got these awesome life counters. They were sent over to me by another channel. Shout out to MTG Chicago. Shout out to Sal. Link shared in the chat.
I thought I was safe when I played this name.
I'm going to cast Ethereal Forager.
Oh, that card's so cool.
Trigger on the Beanstalk.
In response, I'm going to cast Bowmasters.
In response to Beanstalk trigger.
Yes.
2 cards?
2 cards.
There you go.
Oh, I'm
Bowmaster is good.
I'll pay you for 1.
Okay, Bowmaster gets in. Ping Sam for 1. Both players now with up the Beanstalks. Matthew having a Bowmaster, though, creates an advantage, I would say.
And I have 2 triggers.
But that 4/4 Murktide sticks around. Well, now it's a 6/6 thanks to the Forager. Okay, so the Forager grew the Murktide, has Bolt under it. Well, things got interesting in this game, too.
I'm going to cast Fury.
Ooh, Fury pitching Bolt, trigger the beans. That wipes out the squad. Bowmaster and Orc Army defeated. All right, Sam's doing pretty well in this game now. The Fury was huge. Matthew tapped out, casting a ponder.
What, Timothy? What did you say? You told me that you were married. And you wanted me to be abusive.
6/6 Murktide. Swinging.
Yep.
Tap draw.
Looks like with the Forager, Sam is presenting lethal on the following turn. All right, so this town ain't big enough.
Ethereal Forager, trigger Beanstalk.
Bouncing Forager and Beanstalk. All right, that was a huge play. I mean, Forager and Momentum Breaker.
Yeah.
Play Momentum Breaker.
Yep.
Still at 2 speed.
All right, Murktide is sacrificed. This game has been back and forth. Is everybody watching this? This game has been crazy. Still at 2 speed is Matthew. You don't get a speed just for playing a Start Your Engines card. Unless it's the first one ever. The speed could end up mattering in this game. Sacking Momentum Breaker to gain life. It could be relevant in this match. Against the Lightning Bolt deck. A second up the Beanstalk for Sam, though. That's pretty huge. So 2 beans to 1 in favor of Sam. I would say the advantage bar is slightly over to the left at the moment. That could change right now.
Stormchaser's Town? ATB.
Okay, gotta make an otter here. Stormchaser's Talent.
Attempt to level 2 the Stormchaser Talent? Sure.
Okay, so the first Stormchaser's Talent is going to get leveled up to level 2. You can return an instant or sorcery from the graveyard to the hand, from your graveyard to your hand. It's going to be this town ain't big enough. This is a little bit of a combo here. Stormchaser's Talent synergistic with this town ain't big enough. Matthew's been playing a lot of different decks with these 2 cards over the last couple of months.
She's 24
Untapping
years old. She's the beginning of the program. You know what I mean? So by the time she's done, it'll be like more.
So one of the classes is at level 2, has 2 Stormchaser's Talents on the board, so can leave one at level 2, bounce the other, would reach 6 mana, and potentially level 3 the first. That could be kind of crazy. And it's whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, make a blue-red otter with prowess, 1/1.
Yeah, I'm playing Ethereal.
That's what a level 3 Stormchaser's Talent does. 6 mana to level up to level 3, though. 5 and a blue.
Draw 2.
Okay, other real Forager. Draw 2 cards off the Beanstalks.
Go ahead.
Untap. Willing to attempt to cast this town ain't big enough, targeting Momentum Breaker and Stormchaser's Talent. Trigger Beanstalk.
Trigger on the stack.
I will Hydroblast the Pyroblast.
Trigger blast for calls. This trigger's still on the stack.
Second Power Blast from sounds pretty huge here. Going after this town ain't big enough, which is trying to bounce Momentum Breaker and the Forager. Oh no, or was it trying to bounce Stormchaser's Talent? I forgot what. Either way, it got countered. 3/3 otter right now, 2 prowess triggers.
Storm trigger. Good prowess.
Yeah.
4/4 otter now. 3 prowess triggers on it this turn.
I've also kind of been getting into you guys.
Everybody has a beginning.
That's true. I'll literally play.
Countering that this town ain't big enough was pretty huge. Wasteland on Thundering Falls is not super important right now, but it happens.
Attack you before. That
was the 6th mana, that Wasteland, that Matthew could have Next turn leveled up to 3, the Storm Chaser's talent, but
God forbid. Trigger.
as you were saying earlier, this speed could be relevant. I mean, Netherreal Forager is going to be attacking soon, I think.
I'll get this Brainstorm.
Okay, Brainstorm is retrieved. Whenever it attacks, you can return an instant or sorcery exiled with it to its owner's hand. Exiled it with Delve. Forager, a really cool card that unfortunately had a short lifespan in Legacy as far as being like a staple card that we saw all the time. Happy to see this card seeing some play in this game. Big fan of the card. Throw it in your cube if you haven't. Why not? Here's a Murktide for Sam now. 6/6 Murktide. Matthew's at 6. The Momentum Breaker. Speed thing mattering a little bit less at this point. Matthew needs some removal. ASAP. This town ain't big enough getting countered on the previous turn was pretty big. That was an important part of this game. Life from the Loam, trying to return Mystic Sanctuary, a fetch and a Wasteland. Prowess on the Otter, as pointed out. Wow. Looks like Sam's hand is full of just Red Blast, Power Blast, Bolt. A Carpet of Flowers in there.
Counterbalance.
And maybe a Lorien Revealed as well. Lorien Revealed after a Carpet could just put Matthew away on the following turn. Potentially.
I'm going to put this town ain't big enough on top.
Okay.
Okay, this town ain't big enough goes back on top with Mystic Sanctuary. Not too bad. Not too bad. Still needs to deal with these creatures. Kaito, trigger Prowess.
Just playing it.
Yep. Just casting it. It's getting Power Blasted on the stack. Daze.
Kaido's good?
Yeah.
Okay, Kaido's going to resolve. It's going to stun Murktide.
And then move to combat, attack you for 4.
Attack you for 4 with the Otter. Dropping Sam to 3, I believe. Oh, man, this game has been so close.
You're at 6?
I'm at 6.
Remove a stun counter.
All right, Murktide down to 1 stun counter. The Real Forager is going to attack here. Return Ponder to hand, and Bolt could end it.
Play it on you.
You got it.
All right, we're going to game 3. What a game. That's one I might watch back. That was such a good game. Going to game 3.
This will just take the...
Yep. Forced to brainstorm to stop the time.
Okay.
Turns out, like, yeah, it's like 4 miles. Whoa.
So now Matthew will be on the play. It sounds like Matthew has kept 7. Maybe Sam has taken a mulligan?
Maybe in a couple years we'll run like a 3-man.
We'll keep this well. Yes.
Okay, Ponder on turn 1 for Matthew.
That humility play. I will recognize.
Looks like we lost a life counter. We'll get that fixed momentarily. One of our staff members is gonna fix it. Don't worry.
It's like, oh yeah, creatures are the fundamental thing of this game. No, like fuck you. For it.
I destroyed me with humility.
Storm Chaser's talent?
He humbled you.
Okay, Storm Chaser's talent.
Dude, you never even played it. You just kicked my ass.
I'm gonna sacrifice this. Oh god, what happened here?
Kill all your shit. Oh, it's harmonized
I'll get a Volcanic Island.
my problem is
Okay, Power Blast on the Storm Chaser's talent.
1, 2, 3. Put these 2 back, and Power Blast is good.
You know what's going on here.
Oh. Did it die?
I'm at 19 for what it's worth.
I have done before.
Thank you.
It's very like my cube. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay, so a Pyroblast on the Storm Chaser's talent. It was countered. Life total's corrected.
Look, it certainly is. Is this too bad? I'm gonna go. I'm 4. Base controls back? Never been more bad.
Okay, Mr. Rainforest gets correct for Sam. Tropical Island.
That is an island.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's just.
Yeah, the other land that Matthew has is a basic island, in case anybody didn't see that.
My first win phase.
Looks like people are sleeping off the beans.
Carpet of Flowers. That could be pretty good here.
I like 2 blue, and I won't cast over.
You got it.
Why not? Just roll the thunder.
One floating blue mana here as a Brainstorm resolves. Spotted a Fire Ice in Sam's hand.
Hang on. I'll put 4
Go.
Five.
5 cards in Sam's hand. Land pass from Matthew. The Carpet of Flowers is just going to get better and better with time. And we know Sam could be slamming some powerful 5-drops like Fury. Oh, well, here's Murktide.
Strong.
2 counters.
Well, there are certainly
2 counters on Murktide.
just catches up.
By the way, an opportunity, it looks like, to get your name up on the upper left of the stream with some bits right now. If you look in the chat, the little diamond symbol is to cheer. You can cheer and put your name up on the screen.
1, 2,
Exciting stuff. 5/5 Murktide, Bowmaster on Matthew's side. Ooh, fire. Yeah, fire takes them out.
Yeah. But like, even on the upkeep. They're going to do whatever's best for them.
Draw for
Yeah,
I drew.
you drew, I
Yes.
think.
Okay, yes. Momentum Breaker.
How many cards do you have in your hand?
4.
Momentum Breaker on the stack. It breaks the momentum. Matthew's at 1 speed.
Oh, sacrifice this.
That's the first spell I played won the game. That's the whole point.
Momentum Breaker, a really cool card. One of the Start Your Engines cards from Nether Drift. Maybe Legacy players are overlooking it.
Yep.
It's pretty neat in these This Town Ain't Big Enough Storm Chasers talent decks. Feels like Matthew's deck has fewer high mana value spells than Sam has. A little bit lower to the ground.
That's okay. There's the 2/3 flying icon that doubles itself.
Maybe easier for Sam to trigger Beanstalks. Murderous Cut's pretty good, though. That's a 5 mana spell. The Delve mechanic, right, everybody?
Wow. That does kind of nuts.
The flyer,
Fast two.
yeah, but 4/6 life.
Murktide shot down.
Pressure.
I was thinking of this.
Fast two.
Oh, that is very toxic. Because it's weight.
Wasteland leaving the Trop.
You just have to cast a pawn. Just like, I guess.
Harry Houdini says, is this the meta we wanted? Beanstalk versus Beanstalk? Yeah. Yeah, this is what they wanted, Harry.
Or 3 green, recast off the Beanstalk.
1 green, off the Beanstalk on the stack.
They were hysterical about Mika Spawn for 3 months, so we have to do this now.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Bowmaster.
Thank you for 1.
Yeah. Upper Beanstalk still on the stack.
Yep.
Beanstalk is still very much on the stack.
Trigger with a trigger on the stack. I will use the extra green and fire 1/1.
In response,
Fire again, trying to fire Bowmaster. This town ain't big enough.
Bringing those two.
Roll force will. Force will.
Force pitching force, trigger the beans. That'll result in a ping. And then fire is going to resolve, but the orc army will live, it looks like.
Did you get my ping?
I don't think I did.
Okay, so I forgot my 15.
Thank you for the bits, Harry.
Alright, that was fun. I'll play this. Trigger.
Oh my
Keep it on
god.
top. Go ahead.
I love the sound of it. Now move to combat.
Yeah.
All right, Cervelle left it on top. Matthew did not like the sound of that.
It's so fast.
I'm not sure. I'm like, if I really want to put
3 blue.
I don't care spending some money for like.
Spend it.
No, it's fair actually. Yeah.
And play Lauren with the trigger here.
Okay, Lorian revealed, trigger the beans. Force pitching this town ain't big enough.
I will already be the force.
Oh, that's good. Yep, you draw 4.
That was painful. Sam just drew 4 cards. Red Blast countered that force.
I will play Mystic Sanctuary.
Yep.
This isn't very good.
Okay, Mystic Sanctuary put Force of Will back on top. Orc Army's continuing to swing away, though. I think we're losing track of speed a little bit. I think Matthew's speed should be 3, but the players have it marked at 2. Murktide Regent, trigger the beans. Pretty good. 6/6 Murktide.
Play a land for turn.
No.
I will.
So I was like, hey,
You get -1 card.
So mine's just like boxes.
And you get.
I think it's just like this.
Yeah, I think Matthew's speed should be 3.
Yeah, in the meantime, it probably is just better to just get like the
Momentum Breaker can sack to gain life equal to your speed for 2 mana.
Hey, this town ain't big enough, targeting Momentum Breaker and the Murktide region.
This town ain't big enough. Trying to bounce Murktide, bounce Momentum Breaker, Pyroblasting. In response to Sam, it's countered. Pretty good.
Past you.
I'm done. Stop.
Lorian revealed on top, draw it, cast it. Oh, for your
Trigger speed.
Yeah.
stupid.
All right, caught the speed that time. Matthew goes up to 3 speed.
Trigger on my hedge. Yes.
You got it. You're good.
Don't fetch on your opponent's turn if they have speed. What a misplay. What a punt, right, everybody?
It has range trigger.
In response, I'll attempt to cast Bowmasters.
Yep.
Bowmaster in response to Brainstorm. That's pretty good.
Resolves.
Ping you for 1.
Brainstorm's on the stack. I'll lightning bolt it.
Yep.
All right, Sam's kind of had everything that he's needed as far as stopping this town ain't big enough and Bowmaster and all that stuff. So doing pretty well at the moment. Still a 3/3 Orc Army on Matthew's side, which is relevant. 6/6 Murktide crashes in, drops Matthew to 13.
Untap draw.
4 or 5.
Looks like Matthew just has 1 card in hand. Attacking with the 3/3 Murktide. Drops Sam to 6. Max speed.
Past you.
First main phase, I'll make 4 red.
You got it.
4 red. Uh-oh.
To cast Ponder.
Yep.
Okay, first a ponder. 4 red floating for Sam.
4 red and
Fury.
just a Fury trigger on the beans.
Fury trigger the beans. That was pretty mean. Orc Army is gone. Attacking for 6. And now a Fury and a Murktide on Sam's side. Basically presenting lethal for the following turn. Brainstorm for Matthew. Force pitching Brainstorm on the Brainstorm. Trigger the Beans. Pretty good.
6, 12. Can only get up to 11. See, you got it. Two games.
That is the match. Max speed. Still lost the race. GG's. Sam gets it. Well played. Great match. Great match. That was a good one. Our Discord server is up on your screen. Join the Discord if you're not in the Discord, everybody. Links are all over the place for that. Announcement for our 90s MTG Legacy Open, July 13th in New York City. Tickets are available now. Go check that out. Make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel if you're not already. YouTube can't figure out which channels are any good. You have to subscribe to them for them to figure it out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Stick around for a raid. I'll see everybody soon. Peace out.